Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Sean. The Nuggets did it. They beat the Clippers in 7 at home, pretty handedly too for most of game 7. A lot to talk about from this series, and I wanted to try to pinpoint what I really wanted to talk about the most. And I think I'm just gonna take this video and be a fan. In the wise words of Kenny Beecham, sometimes you have to stop being an analyst and be a goddamn fan. Boy, the first 3 games of this series looked so goddamn suspect because even though they were up 2-1, it didn't feel like they should have been, right? A lot of the discourse around those first 3 games was the fact that the Clippers were more so beating themselves than the Nuggets doing anything to actually win those games. I think the Clippers did do a great job of shooting themselves in the foot at different times, just turning the ball over carelessly, not playing their style of offense, playing rushed, playing sloppy in general, like all those little things, right? Every team does that to themselves. The problem is that people were completely discounting what the Nuggets were doing as a whole, right? So when you talk about, oh, the Nuggets came back from down 15 to win game 1, it's kind of that's their bread and butter. The Nuggets are adversity merchants. If you give them a lead to come back from, they are going to try their goddamn hardest to uphold that adversity merchant gimmick, and they are going to make you work for that. You have to put the Nuggets away. Game 1, we saw the Clippers did not put the Nuggets away, and then it ended up being a Nuggets victory. Last second alley-oop to Aaron Gordon, like that, the types of plays that were happening in those first 3 games were like, this really could be a different series numbers wise, with maybe 3 or 4 things happening differently. But they didn't. They happened the way that they did. The Nuggets took a 2-1 lead. Clippers ended up tying up in game 4. And then game 5 was extremely crucial on a couple of different fronts. This is where we're going to start getting into the appreciation of the Nuggets in general and of the series, honestly, because there are some things about the Clippers that I want to highlight as well. Game 5, Jamal Murray, a crucial game 5 in which Jokic didn't show up, but it like kind of out of necessity. Like, he's a guy who takes the game as it comes. Not to say that the Clippers didn't do a good job of defending him, especially Ivica Zubac. That game 5 was a game that Jokic did not need to score 30. He didn't need to score 25, 40, whatever. Jamal had it handled, and shout out to Jamal Murray for a couple of the games that he had this series. You can tell that we've ramped back up into the Jamal as a playoff riser conversation sort of thing, because when he does come out with these 43 pieces, when he comes out with really efficient 20 bombs, and he's playing defense, and he's playing within the offense, playmaking for people, averaging, I believe, 6 assists for the series. You can't ask for more than that. Like, it kind of like, it alleviates some of the woes that he was giving us during the regular season, as it always does. This is a scheduled tweet, scheduled video, scheduled statement. Like, we can literally say the exact same thing about Jamal Murray every single year. And every single year, I fall for the okie doke in the regular season. And I hate that he has to make me fall for it every year until we get to this point where he's putting up 40 pieces in crucial game 5s. One shoulder Michael Porter was such an interesting character in this series. One, get the negative out of the way. Boy, he's a cone. Boy was getting... he was getting diced up on defense, man, to the point where some of these games, like, he couldn't close. Like, he just could not. That being said, positives I want to point out with him, one of the stronger contenders of Nuggets adversity merchantry. The one shoulder thing ultimately being one of the things that's like helped him play better. And it's not like in a practical way, like his shoulder hurting did not physically make him a better basketball player. But I'm not the only one that saw this. Like, plenty of other Nuggets fans too. Like, hey, maybe we should tape that shoulder down every game, every series moving forward, because it seems like he becomes a productive basketball player. And it happens. I don't know. It's weird. He had a team high plus 34. I believe that was in game. Was that in game 5? What did he had the plus 34? The team high? Game high, honestly. He had a couple of good games this series. He was shooting really well. Actually, let me look up the numbers on his 3-point percentage for this series, because I know it was above. Yeah, he shot 44% on threes in this series. And honestly, like, that's what we need. That's what we need. Be a spark plug, be a shooter. The Clippers did do a really good job at taking him out of the equation at times, just like making it harder for him to be a catch and shooter, because they know that he's not really going to be putting on the ball on the floor too much. So, and then we move on to Christian Braun. Oh boy, Christian Braun. What Christian Braun brings to this team is so undeniable, because one of the commentaries about this team, from me, I'm trying not to speak for everyone else, but for me, is the fact that this team just is soft sometimes. There's just not enough dog. There's not enough asshole to go around. Oh my God. There's not enough assholery to go around for this team at times, and it feels like we get punked. Christian Braun, specifically with James Harden, was a much needed dynamic for the Nuggets. We absolutely needed him to start getting into the head of James Harden, playing him physically, getting in his face, having the little extras. Like, we needed that. And, you know, I'm not going to say it directly resulted in a James Harden Game 7, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but I'm just saying Christian Braun did a damn good job at what his job was supposed to be in this series. He was still a very efficient scorer, scoring 20 points like much more comfortably too, and it looks so much easier for him to score those 20 points. So that's been good. He was popping some really confident three balls. Like in Game 7, he had that one on the left wing where it was him and Russ. Russ pump fake, drew his defender, passed back to Christian Braun on the wing, and then he made that three. How Russell Westbrook. The Russell Westbrook experience is one of the most high risk, high reward situations, phenomena, gambits, whatever you want to call it, that's in the league right now. The extreme low is game altering bad. The extreme low loses a team game, loses a team moments, loses a team momentum. The positive extreme of the Russell Westbrook experience is a Game 7 where he scores 16 points, 5 steals, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, efficient shooting, and moments like that dunk, the breakaway dunk on one of his steals where he held on the rim, he hung on the rim longer than he needed to. He knew he was gonna get a tech for this. And he got that tech on purpose. And he even did that. Hold on, he did this. Bam. Get him out of here. Talking about the Clippers. Get him out of here. His activity, his energy, his quickness, his athleticism, his defense, that is the positive of the Russell Westbrook experience. When we talk about what we needed at the backup point guard position, someone, first of all, who could just give us minutes in general. Let's just start there. Give us some minutes. Give us productive minutes. Done. Don't sell the team in high pressure moments. Game 7, he didn't do that. I will say, toward the end of that, when the lead started dissipating after being up by 35 and the Nuggets were just giving up points and turning the ball over, I think he had 2 or 3 straight turnovers in that span that led directly to transition buckets for the Clippers. So that was something. But even then, the rest of the game was great for him. I was really a fan. Game 7, he was huge. Game 5, he was huge. And this is the payoff. A guy who on a minimum contract is giving you so much work, and it's purposeful, and it's dutiful, and it's great work. Shout out to Russell Westbrook, man, because as many negatives as that may come with his play style and whatever, his impact on this team throughout the entire season has been a lot more positive than it's been negative. And I want that. That is my statement. I am stamping that shit. And I'm so happy that that's the case for us.
Just a force, man. I think it's, my ability to be able to be a force of nature on the floor is what I pride myself on. So whatever that looks like, it may be a turnover, it may be a missed shot, but it may be a steal, maybe a dunk, maybe a missed 3, maybe a made 3. It's gonna be all of that. It's gonna be everything. So you just take it for how it comes, and whatever happens, you go with it.
And then the last of the player shoutouts that I want to give for the Nuggets is Aaron Gordon. Genuinely can't be overstated how stable and how consistent and how reliable Aaron Gordon has become as a utility player. Someone who fills the gaps so damn well within this organization and within this system, being able to play the back of 5 at moments, or being a trusted playmaker, and just little things like that. 25 points in Game 1, scoring 23 in Game 5, 22 in Game 7, and you look at the percentages and it's just all very good. Shout out to Aaron Gordon, because thank God you're here. And then over to the Clipper side, because I do want to give a couple of shout outs. I mentioned his name before, but James Harden, I just want to thank you for showing up in Game 7. We really needed it, because I was really nervous about this Game 7 being the one that broke the stereotype. It broke the curse of James Harden Game 7s. And depending on who you ask, he did not disappoint. He showed up exactly as people predicted he would, unfortunately for Clippers fans. And It was rough. There was a stat that I heard or saw after the game. That was James Harden's 55th playoff game in his career where he has under 4 field goals made. 55 playoff games. And you are one of the league's, in league history, you are one of the league's greatest scorers ever. That is disappointing. As a fan of basketball, I'm gonna step aside from my Nuggets fandom for a second. As a fan of basketball, that is just really upsetting to me. Such a high caliber player folding in such big moments for his team. Like, I don't want to see that happen, bro. You are a superstar. I want to see the superstars perform. And if it's just such a consistent thing of you not showing up when the team needs you in these playoffs, it's just undeniable. And then as an NBA fan, I tried to stay away from all-time rankings too much, but the conversations about him and Dwayne Wade, we need to stop that right now. Like, I get James Harden is such an incredibly talented player, but there's a point where you just need to stop trying to compare the two. And then shout out to Ivica Zubac, because I think he has become the colloquial best Jokic defender. It was a title that was held by Wendell Carter Jr. It was a title that was held by Houston Clint Capella, and now Zubac is on the list as well, because I believe when he was guarding Jokic one-on-one, Jokic shot sub 40% against Ivica Zubac, which is like, he wasn't doing anything crazy. He wasn't doing anything like dirty or like anything like that. He was playing Jokic straight up, and it resulted in Jokic struggling against him. And I can't deny that. There's no like cop out for that. He just straight up played him well. But ultimately it didn't matter. Because the others on the Nuggets, at times when they needed to show up, when Jokic was not there, when Jamal isn't scoring 40, the other guys showed up. AG scoring 20 points as consistently as he did this series, crucial. Russell Westbrook off the bench, filling the stat sheet and scoring, 15, 20 points, getting a couple steals here, crucial. Sharing the minutes or sharing the floor with Jamal Murray at times and still making it work, crucial. It was all very important, and it all culminated into this big, cathartic win in Game 7 for Denver, and I could not be any happier. Next series is against the Oklahoma City Thunder. My outlook on that series is going to be consistent with what I said when I thought the Nuggets weren't the favorites or weren't going to win this series. It's Nuggets in 7 all day because I'm the fan. I think the Nuggets match up with the Thunder better than what people think. The Thunder are a phenomenal team, a historically good team in terms of what they've done all season long, for sure. I can't take that from them. We took 2 games off them in the regular season. One of those games where we were severely hurt. Regular season doesn't matter. It matters to me, especially in a series where we are all but counted out at this point. Like, the commentary for the Clippers-Nuggets series, once it hit like Game 6, everyone was like, oh, okay. So you guys are just here to lose to OKC in the next round. And honestly, because I was one of the people that just wasn't supremely confident in the Nuggets even beating the Clippers in the first place, I'm going to change my tune completely. I think the Nuggets can beat the Thunder. I think there are certain things that the Nuggets do well in terms of rebounding, in terms of having size at different positions, that could match up really well with what OKC has to offer. Problem would be, if we do get a lead in this series, if we have a 15, 10, 20-point lead against the Thunder at some point in any of these games, I am not supremely confident in that lead being around for longer than 5-10 minutes. Unfortunately, because as much as I don't want to take away from what Game 7 was for the Nuggets, it was very alarming how fucking fast that 35-point lead started dwindling. It was really, really scary. And I'm just not, I hate that. That's the last point that we're going into the second round with. Hopefully, between the 48 hours of Game 7 and Game 1 of the Thunder series, they figure something out and they give us enough rest as possible and just get ready for the grind, man, because it's not going to be a fun series. It's not going to be an easy series. It's not going to be a short, I don't think it's going to be a short series. It's Nuggets in 7 until the day I die, but it's going to be a tough one. But that is it. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you for sticking all the way through. Go Nuggets, man. I'll see y'all in round 2. Peace out.